أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ويل لكل همزة لمزة الذي جمع مالا وعدده يحسب أن ماله أخلده كلا لينبذن في الحطمة وما أدراك ما الحطمة نار الله الموقدة التي تطلع على الأفئدة إنها عليهم معسدة في عمد ممددة. آمنت بالله صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم استر عيوبنا، اللهم اشرح صدورنا، اللهم نبر قلوبنا، اللهم اغفر ذنوبنا، اللهم حسر مرادنا. اللهم إنا نجعلك في نحورهم ونعوذ بك من شرورهم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا زدنا علما، ربنا زدنا علما، ربنا زدنا علما. آمين يا رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله. Allah has bestowed, bestowed His blessings upon us by giving us this opportunity again to recite Surah and try to understand Quran in a better way. So we ask Allah to bless this gathering with all the favors, with all the blessings, and with His mercy, and keep us on this path till our death, and keep us steadfast on this path. I mean, and I hope all of you are doing well in your lives, with your personal as well as professional lives. So, last time we studied Surah Feel, the elephants. So, today we are going to study uh, the surah which always scares me, and the surah which is a reminder to all of us, and it will be a reminder to all the people who will be coming after us. So, why I say that this surah scares me all the time whenever I read it, because we are all like uh, we are all sinners, right? And sometimes we don't know what we're talking about. Sometimes we don't know, like when we are talking about others. For example, if I start talking about someone and I'll start with good, but somebody else will pitch in and he or she will say, okay, you know about that person, he was doing this, she was doing that. And from positive, we go about to negative. So it's very scary because this surah uh, reprimands all the people who do it like that, who say negative things about the people. And this surah is a very great warning to all of us and to all those who are involved in that. So, like, I am always being like overpowered by this surah, whether I have committed this sin or like if I commit this sin, then I'm done. And talking about others, like in the morning itself, I had shared about something like backbiting and slandering. So this surah focuses on those important things. So we should be conscious when we are talking about others. So we should not be talking about others unless there is any urgency. If there's any urgency, then we should talk what we are supposed to talk, because it's very dangerous and it'll backfire. Although that person won't be there, although that person won't be present at that time, but it should not be against us. Although we are not conscious, and like we say that nothing will happen, but it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous for us. And we should, if we have committed those sins, if we have wronged someone by talking against them, then we should go to that person or those people and tell them, I'm sorry. We don't have to give them all the details. Hey, like I have spoken against you with this. Then he or she will get angry again, and he will feel bad or she will feel bad. So what we should do is, if you're not able to, like if you're not up to that thing, like up to that asking forgiveness from them directly, then we should ask Allah to forgive us. We should ask Allah, Ya Allah, please forgive me, I have committed these sins. And the best way to do that is, other way to do that is, for example, if I have talked against someone in the gathering of 5 people or 10 people, the scholars say that if you're ashamed of that, or if you feel that it's wrong, and if you feel that that was very wrong against that person, so what you should do is, you should have same gathering of same number, for example 5 people or 10 people, then talk about that person in a positive way, and probably it will diminish the negative aspects, and it will not harm others. And you like by this act, you will have repaid the thing, you will have repaid the sin, you will have repaid the backbiting, you will have repaid the slandering what you had done earlier, because it will give a new image to the people who are listening to you, or who were listening to you that time. Earlier, you spoke against that person in a negative way. Now, you are speaking against that person in a positive way. And if possible, tell them that those things were not true, or it is not permissible in Islam to talk against a person who is not present, right? So, this surah is talking about those things. And primarily, the surah talks about some of the moral problems, moral corruption that affect the wealthy, and it also gives warnings of the consequences of these evils, right? So, as I recited this surah, it starts with Wailul likulli humadatil lumadah. The word, the surah's name is Humazah. Humazah means slanderer. It also means scorner, right? So in the this Musaf of Quran, it is 104th surah, right? and it was revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the seventh year of Nubuwah. It was seventh year of prophethood, and this surah was revealed. Where did it happen? It happened in Makkah, right? And this surah has 9 ayahs. So all the commentators, all the historians, all the mufassirun say that uh, they are all in agreement that it is a Makkan surah, because when we study its subject matter, its theme, its style, they all show that this is one of the earliest surahs to be revealed at Makkah, right? And um, when we talk about the theme of this surah, it shows and it reflects about the evils which were prevalent among the materialistic hoarders of wealth in the pre-Islamic days, and those evils have been condemned in this surah. And historically, every Arab knew that they actually existed in their society, and naturally they regarded them as evils, and nobody thought they were good. Nobody thought they were good. They were all saying that these things should not be in a uh, yeah uh, we will take Q&A at the end of the session, right? So you can keep your question for now, then we can take some questions. No problem, no problem. I'll try to answer those questions, inshallah. So right now, I'll focus on what like the background and other things in the surah. Then we'll take some of the questions and at the end, inshallah, of the session. So they thought that these things are not good, and they all regarded them as evils, right? And uh, Allah, after calling attention to this kind of character, who is a slanderer, who is a scorner, who is mocking in front of the face, or who is mocking at the back of someone, the ultimate end in the hereafter of the people having this kind of character has been stated. It's all mentioned in the surah. What should be the result of that person who has this character, right? And um, since in the world people of such character do not suffer any punishment, for example, somebody slanders me when I'm not present there, then you must be thinking that he was not punished, she was not punished in this world. But Allah is giving that guarantee that no matter what, that person will be punished in the hereafter. He has to die, she has to die, and we are not going to leave them unaccountable. We'll hold each and every soul accountable. All of us will be held accountable for all our actions. It's not like I'm doing this and I'll be free from accountability. No, everyone will be held accountable. Everyone. Everyone has to answer the questions which will be posed by Allah. If you did this act, why? If you did that act, why? And I'll talk about, because my niyyah was that, my intention was that, but Allah will recall me, Allah will show me the video clips. See, we have these videos, they are in HD. Now you can think of, and these HD programs have been uh, made by human mind. Now you can think of the creator of human mind, what can he do? He will show us like, I can't imagine how will he show us, and he can show us as if it will be happening at that point of time. We can't imagine. Allah's technology. So this is human beings' technology, but you can imagine the creator of human mind, what will be his technology on the day of judgment. So we should be fearful of that. May Allah save us, and may Allah honor us on that day, and may Allah protect us from all these evils, and may Allah save us from committing those evils. So, and people of such character do not suffer any punishment in this world, and they seem to be going ahead with prosperity and achievements, but the occurrence of the hereafter becomes absolutely inevitable. That's why hereafter has to happen. That's why judgment day has to happen. Otherwise, there's no point of living in this world with all these evils. And for example, if I'm oppressed, if someone is oppressing me, and nobody is punishing him in this world, at least I can hope that that person will be punished in the hereafter. At least I can hope that. But if that is not there, then it's gone. That he will be flourishing, and I'll be like persecuted like anything. So that's why Allah gives guarantee that, and Allah mentions in the Quran like multiple times. Do not think that Allah is unaware of what they are doing. Allah is all aware of what they are doing, what they are committing. But it's just Allah is giving them some time. When the time is over, then Allah will hold them. Allah will punish them. So it's all in the Quran. So there's a hope for a believer, right? And there are other surahs also which talk about these things. But when we talk about this surah, Al-Humazah, after presenting a specimen of leadership of the pre-Islamic age of ignorance, in this surah, the people have been asked the question: what should such a character deserve if not loss and punishment? If somebody is uh, persecuting me, if somebody is oppressing me, and he is not being punished in this world, what should be the fate of that person in the hereafter? And this surah tells us, this surah Humazah tells us how bad mankind can get into loss. And this is why some scholars state that there's no severer description given of hell in the Quran than the description in this surah. And many severe and harsh descriptions of hell are mentioned in the surah. Especially when Allah says about hell, what He has not said in other surahs is Narullah. Here in this surah, Allah says directly Narullah. It is lit by Allah. In other surahs, it's like Narun Hamiyah, Narun Hamiyah, or Nari Jahannam, right? In other surahs. But here, Allah is literally saying Narullah, the fire of Allah. So, to enhance the severity of the hell described in this surah, we realize that this is the last surah in the Quran which discusses the akhirah, the afterlife, and the surahs after this do not discuss the akhirah. You must have noticed when we studied other surahs, Surah Kauthar, Surah Fil, Surah Kafirun, Surah Ikhlas, Surah Falak, Surah Nas, and Surah Ma'un. Nowhere is mention of this hellfire. but this is the last surah in the Quran, as per the tartib, as per the sequence, where Allah is strictly mentioning the narullah. Allah is strictly mentioning the fire, right? So this surah gives us just gist of some important reflection, guidance, and lessons. That is, the slanderer, the defamer, and the miser, all of them will be thrown into the blazing fire, and which will be lit by Allah Himself. Right? So when Allah starts this surah, it's very scary. It's very scary. Allah says, "Wailul kulli humazatil lumazah." Destruction for every slanderer and backbiter. Or in simple words, um, it is said, woe to every scorner and mocker. When we go depth into this ayah, while vav ya lam, while actually means destruction. Originally, the word was while, vav ya. Vav ya means destruction. And vailaka means vailaka. When we use vailaka, it means destruction for you. And this term was used so often that it became the word vile. And the word is used when someone is extremely frustrated at someone. That is, for example, a frustrated friend, a frustrated parent, uh, he or she might say to a disobedient son or a disobedient like friend or anyone. So, vailaka, Aameen, destruction to you, and I believe. So you can imagine, and you can notice in these ayahs also, Allah is showing like how uh, angry He is at the greedy, corrupt people who have wealth but don't spend it on the needy, but instead want to get more and more, even if they are not deserving of it. So it's like while to Humazah, destruction upon those who are slandering. And for our information, while the word while has been used 27 times in the Quran, and uh, out of those 27, 10 times have been used. This word has been used 10 times in Surah Mursalat separately. So by if we use Waili Hasra, it'll be it'll meant irrevocable regret. So the people who fit the character of being cursed, they will have a regret on the day of judgment, but they cannot return back to mend their errors. They cannot go back and ask for forgiveness. They cannot go back and tell them, hey, I'm sorry, I did this to you, I talked against you, I did not give you wealth, or I was very miser, I mocked you in front of people, so please forgive me. But nobody will be given chance to go back in the world and do rectify all the errors. No, nobody will be given that chance. Exam is over and over. It's the result day. And some scholars say that while is used as an emotion, it's used as condemnation for anguish. When someone is insulted behind their back and cursed by someone in their face, they feel saddened. And that time they are experiencing a form of self destruction. That is why, due to, for example, bullying, which they will be or they are continuously facing at school, at college, at university, or at workplace. But in this ayah, Allah defends the weak who is abused by other people. And Allah defends the weak by saying, Wailul likulli humazah. While destruction to the slanderer and backbiter. So Allah is defending the weak by promising to destroy the oppressors who attempt to destroy the weak. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, be afraid of the curse of an oppressed. Be afraid. Be afraid of the curse of an oppressed person, because there is no screen, there's no parda, there's no veil between his invocation and Allah. Like, it goes straight away. It goes straight away to Allah, and there's no barrier. For example, if I am oppressed by someone and if I pray against that person, it will straight away go to Allah. It will not have any barriers. It will not have any veil. It will not go through any screening process. It will go straight away to Allah. It will be presented to Allah that time only. And there's a story of Hazrat Sa'ad bin Waqqas radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He was slandered by some people at Baghdad or Kufa. I'm not sure about the place, but he was slandered in front of him. Somebody said that he doesn't know how to offer namaz, and he's very lazy. He is very careless about Islam. And he said, Hazrat Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas radiallahu anhu said, do you tell me that I don't care about Islam? Do you tell me that I don't know how to pray? Do you even know I was the fifth of Islam? I was the fifth Muslim on the face of this earth. And you tell me I don't know how to pray? So they were slandering him. They were slandering him with, they just wanted to be in be in the news. That's what we are doing today. Like, to become famous, to have the viral videos go on, and we do something, we slander someone, and we become famous, and the video becomes viral. Oh, and you have a news. There's a viral video about this. There's a viral video about that person. So those people wanted to become famous. Those people wanted to become viral at that point of time. So what he did is, he made a dua. He said, Ya Allah, if these people are saying truth, I know they are lying. Ya Allah, remove their eyesight and make them dependent on everyone, and make their lives miserable. Within no time, that person and others who slandered him of that, one of them lost eyesight, the other, he became dependent. He had 5 to 7 daughters who were dependent on him, and they were all unmarried. Plus others, they were cut miserably. They had a very bad death. So that's why Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, beware, be afraid of the dua of an oppressed person, because it doesn't have any screen. If that person makes dua against you, then you are done. So we should seek Allah's forgiveness all the time, and we should seek forgiveness from those people whom we have reviled at any point of time, because We don't want like we don't want ourselves to be put in a different thing, different stage. So we don't want hellfire. We all want Jannah, right? So if we have done something wrong with other people, if we have talked against some people, then we should rectify all these things within this world only, within our lives only, when we are alive. So about this word, Imam Shawkani rahimahullah says that there are many prophetic narrations which state that there's a part of the hellfire called the Vile. This vile part of the hell is so harmful that it asks Allah to destroy itself, and this place is reserved for the Humazah and Lumazah. So Humazah, Lumazah, all these words are connected together. Imam Razi rahimahullah says, Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said, Humaz is behind the back and Lumaz is in front of the face. In simple terms, Humaz is uh, scolding someone, slandering someone behind the back, and Lumaz is something which is done on the face, which is done in front. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said, Humazah, ghiba, that's backbite. Lumazah points out the flaws in people over and over again. Humazah means who insults someone behind their back, and they do this a lot because the word Humazah suggests this person does it often. And Lumazah insults people in front of their face too, right? So the example could be Humazah is talking behind the back, and Lumazah is making fun of someone in front of all. Hey, look at him, look at her. She's doing this, he's doing this. See how they are behaving with each other, and how her hair is, how his hair, how his hair is. Look at his face. Look at his uh, like body. Look at her face. See, or mocking on the basis of name, race, religion, caste, creed. Oh, we know you're coming from that place. She's coming from that place, and we make fun of it for the sake of fun, for the sake of mocking, or for the sake of entertainment. We mock those people. We say bad things about those people, and you can imagine how they'll be feeling at that point of time when they are being ridiculed, when they are being mocked in front of people. That's why they are feeling destruction. They want to die at that time. The biggest example of that could be bullying. When you bully people in front of them, maybe based on their characteristics, based on their name, or whatever. That's why Allah has used fire. Destruction be upon them. Right? Uh, so, Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu was asked, who are these people who are cursed? Like with this wine. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu replied, they continuously insult and abuse people. Like I already said, that short man there, that ugly man, that ugly woman, etc. They all condescend others and belittle them through sarcasm, through jealousy, and sometimes even jokingly. And it can happen in any matter of religion too. That is, uh, when we attack people's religiousness, uh, their beard, their niqab, their hijab, since that is their following of the religion. So I remember one of my friends' parent was telling her that, why are you wearing this niqab? It's like a tent. And nowadays, hijab is being mocked publicly. When somebody wears hijab, and we look with open wide eyes, oh, she's wearing hijab. Yesterday, since yesterday, she was not wearing hijab, and now she's showing hijab. Yesterday, this guy didn't have beard, and now he's showing this. He has beard. We are mocking upon those terms also. See, and then it also includes making fun of people's walking. So this ayah tells us we should not do any acts of humas and lumas, right? Um, After that, Allah uses alladhi jama'a malum wa'addadah. So these qualities can be uh, in a person who has other characteristics also, right? So these qualities do not come like by default. When we were in childhood, our parents did not say that, okay, you have the job of bullying people, you have the job of mocking people, you have the job of slandering people. They didn't teach us like that. They taught us good manners. But when we grew up, when we uh, loved this world, when we loved this life, when we hated death, then what happened? These bad qualities, these evils came inside our mind and heart, right? And we don't think, and we don't like think like there are some evils in our mind and heart. We feel that we are good Muslims. We can do anything. We can even mark against non-Muslims, no problem, because they are non-Muslims. That's not an issue. But Allah will hold us accountable for every action. Even if we mock others, even if we mock non-Muslims, He is going to hold us accountable for all those actions. For example, if there is a non-Muslim guy and I mock him and I ridicule him and I do these Humazah and Lumazah, then Allah will hold me accountable. Why did you do this? He was my slave. Even though he was a non-Muslim, why did you do this? Did you have a license to do that? Had I given you the special license? Had I given you that license? Okay, you should not do mocking and joking and other bullying and humas and lumas to no, Muslims, but you can do to non-Muslims. Had I given you that? And I'll say no. So we should correct ourselves before it's too late. And Allah says, "Allazi jama'a malum wa'addada." These qualities can be in a person who gathers wealth, alladhi jama'a malam wa'addada, who gathers wealth and counts it over and over again. Now we don't count money, but we just go to Paytm or Google Pay uh, and then see check our balance. Oh, now 3 lakh, now 4 lakh. After every month, okay, now 5 lakh. Hmm, fine. So we count it like that in these days. So Allah is saying that these qualities can be in a person who is gathering them because he or she has become materialistic. He doesn't care about others. And he wants to jama, he wants to add, he wants to gather money as much as he can, as much as she can. They want to gather money from all the haram and halal sources. Forget about halal sources. They want to gather money from haram sources. And after that, they cannot give money to others. They don't spend it for people. And if they spend, they will spend extravagantly. They'll be spendthrift in that. So we have to take care of these things, and we should ask Allah always to not make us among those people. We should seek refuge in Allah from those people, from the qualities, from the evils of those people. So today I'll end it here, and then after on next Sunday, inshallah, we'll go ahead, inshallah. So if you have questions, please go ahead. We'll take inshallah. Jazakallah khair. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك